But for my muffin.
Chapman.
And I'm the captain.
Adjusts position on seat because excited.
Stretches back, goes, and gets ready to tell the world about one of the greatest guitars ever invented.
The Sug.
The Sug. The Sg.
Sg.
Yeah, so it's 2015, but as Gibson do of late, they have announced their range of 2016 guitars.
Maybe they found a time machine.
I think they have. I think to be honest, he's got a crystal ball and he sees into the future and sometimes gets confused as to when it actually is. We just shot a most excellent video about the Les Paul Standard for 2016, and we've explained in great detail the point of the 2016 range, which is to offer something for everybody. So all you guys that were a little bit upset in 2015 that you had a ton of new innovation on the Gibson range, you can be happy again, because now the entire range contains a traditional spec'd version of every guitar that you love, including actually this year V's and Explorers, as well as your SGs
totally want to get a V.
Yeah, very exciting.
You just haven't got any in stock.
Not yet. They're coming. They're very exciting.
Kind of interesting about this, Lee.
Yes.
Is that the SG was obviously a modified, updated version of a Les Paul to make it lightweight and stealthy.
Yes.
And then they kind of done that again on it.
To do is go and watch the video that we just shot on the 2016 Les Paul Standard traditional spec versus high performance spec, because that'll kind of go into a lot of the sort of the detail behind some of the core differences between between the guitars and the range. But let's just take you through what's good about the traditional spec'd SG Standard in 2016, and then Rob can take you through the differences on high performance.
Which is funny because I own one of these. You
do. You bought one just the other day, didn't you?
Yeah.
So this is back exactly how it should be. Beautiful chunk of quarter sawn mahogany, the Cluson style deluxe machine heads, a standard sort of C-shape style neck, compound radius fretboard. So that's, I guess, a little different from the original ones, but generally agreed to be better. 490, 498 humbuckers, so the pickups off a Les Paul Custom traditionally, but again often used on an SG. Beautiful style scratch plate. No jiggery pokery here, so the 4 buttons just literally do 2 volumes and 2 tones, don't pull out or anything like that. And nothing really to be sad about, except for perhaps one thing, although that's offset by the fact the price is amazing. So the price in the UK is $9.99 now, and an SG Standard hasn't been $9.99 in the UK for a few years. A little bit sadly, the way they've hit that price point is now the SG Standard comes in a heavily padded Gibson gig bag. So you now have to buy a case with an SG Standard if you want.
But still,
that.
it's a full-on Gibson SG for under £1,000.
Man, I only need to play that one note that lasts forever to justify every single one of those £999. And let's be honest with you, once you get this thing out of its case, you're never putting it back in it anyway. So
I haven't put mine back in the case yet.
Yeah. So look, again, I'm just pointing out. I'm just being, you know me. I like to speak the truth.
Just pointing.
These are absolutely spangtaculous. That's a new word. I just love it.
Why haven't you got an SG, Lee? It really suits you.
Therein lies one of the greatest questions in the universe. And
why don't I own a
have to
Strat?
address that at some point soon. So this is great. This is great. We know and we love this guitar. And of course, in terms of colours, this is probably the iconic SG colour. But by the power of magic editing,
if
here
you
they
wanted
flow,
something
other colours.
slightly higher end, souped up, hot
Souped
rodded.
up. Let's go souped up.
Souped up, hot rodded.
Yeah.
Ultra Megatron. Then you might go for something like this, which comes in a variety of colours, but is absolutely incredible. The first thing you'll notice as a player, if you flip it over, is that this is moved. It's like slipped down.
No!
And it's migrated. Now I'm going to be really interested to see how that feels on a strap. I think it'll feel great.
Yep.
But what it means is they've also ploughed down this. Oh, it feels nice.
With an actual plough.
They ploughed it down. Yeah.
They built a really miniature plough, and they employ a hamster to drive it.
If it didn't already have incredible access, now it's got access, and you can access everything. You know, probably get your bank balance from here, and you know, whatever else you need. Nothing pulls, which is fine. Does one of those things.
You've got the more grippy knobs.
I like the
though,
grippy knobs. Yeah, that's a proper grippy knob.
I've got old school knobs. You've got
I
grippy
find
knobs.
it's a little bit difficult to manipulate quickly. But
it's because you haven't got old school hands like me.
I've got 1975 hands. What have you got?
1972 hands.
Yeah,
Makes all the difference.
Slightly older hands than me. That's what it is. Lee's got slightly older hands. That's a really horrible thing to say, isn't it? The humbuckers are the same. The neck profile's slightly different, I believe.
It's the same neck, but again, the whole high performance range is all like about 1 mil thicker.
It's got frets on the binding, whereas Lee's has got a binding over the frets.
Yeah.
Which I actually prefer this. Titanium nut and saddles, brilliant, really, really, really cool. It's got the G-force tuners, which are quicker and smoother, and they work. I'm in tune, constantly in tune, never out of tune with G-force. Like it or lump it, it works.
Yeah, we go into a little bit more detail about that in the Les Paul Standard video, which again I'll put a link here for you now. But
more importantly,
it
sounds like this.
What is not to like?
Everything's great to like.
I should say as well, everybody, if you want to know how does an SG sound different to a Les Paul? If you watch this video back to back with the Les Paul video that we just shot, we haven't changed any of the settings on the amps. So that's literally how, you know, if you hear the two sounds, you hear the distortion sounds, the clean sounds. Basically, that's how a Les Paul sounds different to an SG.
How does yours sound?
Oh, I didn't want to interrupt you. I was loving your playing.
Thank you.
It was just nails.
You know, I took a year off really ever playing at home
Why?
to learn to sing.
Oh, okay. Well, you
Some would say it didn't work. But now I started playing again and it feels really good.
Oh,
so
you
I'm
should.
enjoying
Do.
it.
And also as well, we pulled out the JCM 800 for these Gibson videos because there's kind of there's a little bit of magic happens when a JCM 800 is paired up with a Gibson guitar.
I should say that on the floor, all I'm using is the amplifier from Atomic to give me. So here's without the amplifier. It's just the dry signal. If I use the reverb. And I got some delay as well.
And we're very occasionally kicking in an EP boost just to push it over this. I got to say again, the amplifier. Most of you will know the amplifier as like a guitar modelling effects, all-in-one effects loop. But the quality of the reverbs and delays is so stellar, and it's so easy just to switch everything off apart from the reverbs.
Yeah, Lee was like, "Do you want to use the tiny string?" But I was like, "No, I want to use the amplifier from Atomic."
So anyway, look. Now I'm plugged into the V40, which is the kind of the vintagey sort of Fendery voiced sort of Victory amp. I don't have a button on the back of my headstock. I have to do this manually.
At least you get a bit of a workout,
Yeah, a little bit
aerobic.
of a workout, yeah. And I'm using a Plimsoll by Full Tone Drive Pedal, which just sounds magical. Sold! I'll take it. I'm definitely buying an SG.
Are you?
Definitely buying.
Do you want to buy an SG? Not buy a Strat.
Oh, I think we should.
I don't own a Strat. You don't own an SG.
Okay. Oh man. And then I had like an MXR carbon copy just to sort of give some juicy.
That sounds monstrous. Have you got one of those V40s as well?
Sugar, my muffins.
You need a V40,
If
mate.
I was gigging, I would be buying one of those yesterday.
Why aren't you gigging?
I got no friends.
Stop it, Lee! Get in the band!
I know, we're thinking about, I'm going to let this out the bag now and you're all going to go mad,
no.
and it's probably a bad idea because half
Lee's
the people
joining
haven't
Metallica
even agreed
again.
to do this. No, I thought it would be kind of cool. What about if we had a video team gig?
Yeah,
so
that's
it
true.
would be like everybody that is involved with Andertons videos. So
I should
me,
play bass,
Rob,
beer on
Beer,
drums, you should sing.
Pete, Mick. Mick doesn't even know, I haven't asked him yet, but he's going to find out now.
Mick Taylor, the
Yeah.
ex-Guitarist magazine.
Yeah, and anyone else that's been it. So what do you think about that? Would that be cool?
I think it's a cool idea.
So we might do that. I'm just going to get your collection you threw at me viciously.
Stop it, Lee!
I might put in
Thank
a
you,
claim,
Lee.
accident claim.
Put it in a claim.
So, look, man. I know I'm banging on about it, and I sound like some sort of major fanboy of Gibson here. But I just love the fact that because I kind of felt a bit sorry for all the heat that Gibson took in 2015. I totally get that not everybody liked the innovation, but I didn't really feel it was fair to criticise Gibson just purely for trying something different.
Well, people like to criticise for people. It's just fun.
But the great thing is in 2015 now, really all you've got to do is just choose, are you a traditional spec guy, or, are you an innovator?
What? There's this whole thing in the internet that Gibson made their best guitars about 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Well,
whatever.
2013 was just purely and simply from a popularity year. That was the year they sold the most guitars.
Yeah, well, they're absolutely way beyond that now.
Well, so that's why a lot of the traditional spec guitars will hark back to the features that you had in that year. And I said, the thing I'm most glad about, I think, was that the one thing that probably everybody was a step too far on 2015 was the neck width went to about 3 or 4 mil wider than a regular neck width. And I get why Gibson felt they wanted to try the wider neck, because the traditional neck is pretty narrow, and it's not uncommon for your strings to kind of slip off the side of the fretboard. But on the high performance models for 2016, it's just 1 mil wider.
Right.
So it's just enough to give you that little bit of extra safety margin without utterly changing the kind of the feel of the guitar.
You know what?
It's a great
This is already a long video.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah, we can't help it. We can't help it. We get that Gibson fever.
We'll try and make them shorter. But I hope you've enjoyed the jams.
And the tones.
And stuff like that. You got any questions? You stick them in the comments section below. We'll do our best.
Hands
to
up,
answer
who
them.
reckons Lee's going to buy one of these?
I'm so going on an SG mission. I need to just go and try a few. I want to see what's in. I want to see what's in the custom shop.
I want to get a V still. Because I went to buy a V and ended up with 2 others.
Because I don't gig, and so my entire guitar playing career is sitting down.
Nothing is more comfortable than that.
I don't like it.
That's how he's got to buy that one now.
I have to buy this one, shop damaged. I can't play like this. I feel like a classical guitar player. I can't play like that. I have to play like some sort of lazy-arsed, dirty blues boy.
It works. I've been Rob Chapman.
And I'm going to throw a plectrum at you. Rubbish shot.
Bye.